in here right now. What's up, y'all?
Hello, everybody. I am Melanie Loren.
And I am Hollee Chanel, and this is Dipped with Sweet and Hot.
Hey, yes.
Welcome to the podcast, friend.
Hey, y'all. Hey, friend. Shout out to our associate producer, Lewis. Hey, Whoop, it's been a long time coming.
Long time. But they say the best things come to those who wait.
Hey, we waited. We waited.
Yeah, you tell by the cackles, it's about to be a good time, y'all. Y'all are in for a treat.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hollee, what's it with Sweet and Hot? It's such an interesting title.
It is such an interesting title, but let's take the people through the journey first.
Okay.
Mel and I are two, let's call it lifelong friends, who get together with a kiki. And we said, you know what? We should not keep the kiki to ourselves.
It's so selfish.
It's so selfish to keep the kiki to yourself. You got to share it with the world. You got to share the wealth. Yeah. And so we decided to come up with a podcast, a forum to talk about the things that happen in everyday life. Because, you know, as they say, life be lifing.
It's been lifing a lot lately.
It's been lifing a lot. And so then, you know, when you think about like, okay, we're trying to create an entity, you got to call it something. And we came up, we tested some things out. We had a couple focus groups, i.e. our parents and friends. And we came up with Dipped with Sweet and Hot. You want to tell the people?
Yes.
How we got here.
So I will tell you what the title means, and then we'll talk about just like what this time with us is going to be like for you guys.
Fair enough.
So those of you who are, I don't know, blessed, fortunate enough to grow up in the Midwest or spend some time in the Midwest, there is a such thing in Chicago called an Italian beef sandwich.
An Italian beef sandwich.
And if you've never had an Italian beef sandwich, first of all, sorry.
And I feel for you.
But second of all, it's okay because I had not heard about an Italian beef sandwich either until I moved to Chicago. So I'm not a Chicago native. And I got here and I heard about this thing called an Italian beef sandwich. So basically, if you don't know, it's like a thinly shaved beef with au jus.
Yes. On a hoagie roll. Or a sub roll, whatever.
Whatever kind of white bread that's thick that you want.
Right.
Okay.
Healthy.
But it's such a staple in Chicago because just like people have different opinions about their pizza, you have opinions about what you like on your Italian beef sandwich. And depending on what hood in Chicago you're in and what little mom and pop shop you run into to get said sandwich.
Shout out to Al's on Taylor.
Okay, that's Holly's choice. Listen, you're gonna hear lingo when you go into the shop that you might not be familiar with.
Absolutely.
If you hear me order,
okay,
you might hear, "Can I get Italian beef dip with sweet and hot?"
Got you.
And the sweet is a reference to bell peppers.
Yes.
The hot is a reference to jardinera.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that?
Yes, jardinera.
And the dip is a reference to how much juice you want on your bread.
How moist you want your sandwich.
And for me, I don't like dry bread.
At all.
So I'm always going to want my sandwich dip. Now, so you can say dip, you can say wet, you can say
extra wet.
Place that, you know, says baptized, I think.
No,
dipped in the water, okay? Coming up different than you went down in there, okay?
Because let me tell you something. If you haven't had an Italian beef, your first time, it will bless you. It will bless you, okay?
And so some people don't like hot pepper. Some people only like this. Some people only like that. Some people like dry sandwiches. I can't relate. But
listen, a couple months ago, we picked up one of our nieces' order, and she said she had some on her order that I hadn't heard before. She said extra wet. I said, okay. Sis, okay.
I mean, there's only so much the bread can absorb.
Right.
But okay.
Do you want the bread even? Just ask for the juice.
So anyway, we digress, which we tend to do. So Dipped with Sweet and Hot, we felt like was really good description of not only where we both have called home for a long time, I have lately been spending less time in Chicago than I used to due to work, but I have spent a long time here. So it's a reference to Chicago. It's a reference to our friendship.
Yes, indeed.
Which is sometimes a mix of those two things. And
sometimes it's sweet. Sometimes it's hot.
That doesn't mean that we fight, because we don't fight.
We don't fight.
So it's not that we fight. It just is the level of feistiness and spice in the conversations that we have.
And in our general affect.
Yeah. Sometimes the conversations tend to be pure and intellectual and grounded. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just foolery. Sometimes it's juicy.
It's pure, unadulterated.
It's fun, whatever it is. So we're inviting you guys along for the ride. So there's going to be plenty of laughs. We basically just decided that we wanted to let you guys in on our conversations that we have.
Because here's the thing, we realize that like the things that we discuss are not just specific to us, right? Mm-hmm. And we're like, if we're experiencing this,
so is everybody else.
Somebody somewhere got to be experiencing these things. Mm-hmm. Now, so I will say, Melanie talks about coming to Chicago. Let me tell you something about Ms. Mel. She may not have been born in Chicago, but Chicago chose her. Okay. Okay. Chicago chose her. She's been here for a mighty long time. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm born and raised.
Mm-hmm. Ride or die.
South Side.
I too claim the South Side.
Please and thank you. And listen, that is not, disclaimer. This is not to alienate the west side of the Chi. It's
or the
not,
north.
Or the north or any other.
Or over east.
Or out west, Illinois. Or for that matter, any part of the world where our voices are touching your ears. We love you and we just want to bring some of this joy, some of this laughter to you. What can the people expect with Dipped?
Ooh.
With Sweet and Hot? What can they expect?
Oh, so much. Sometimes it's going to be funny. Hopefully already you see that it's going to be entertaining.
Yes.
Now, I would like to say Hollee and I are both well-educated women.
Listen.
With fully formed opinions on a lot of things. So sometimes you're going to learn a little something.
Listen.
You're going to get some insight that maybe you haven't gotten before.
We're going to get you learned up in here.
We're going to do it. And we'll use proper English most of the time. We will not commit to saying that we're going to do that all the time.
Well, I will say we both speak the quote unquote Queen's English. However, any use of African-American vernacular English is intentional and purposeful and done to prove to emphasis and to accentuate points, right? Mm-hmm. So, you're talking to two prime code switchers.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so to that end, because you probably haven't seen photos of us, but what you can expect is thought-provoking, relevant to the public topics from a Black feminine perspective.
Yes.
That's
I have to wave my hand like we were in church.
All right.
That's what you're gonna. That's what you're gonna get.
That's what
you're gonna get at each time, and you're gonna get some of the people who are in our world.
Yes.
Guests that we'll have on the show, guests that we'll have on the podcast, who are going to share their perspectives. We both know a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life who we also have a lot of fun with too.
And we've gotten a lot of value from knowing these people, from interacting with them and their authenticity and their experiences. And so again, just something that we wanted to share with you. So buckle up, friends.
That's it. Oh, the last thing is that it's like how I think you alluded to this earlier.
Yes. It
is a reference. Dipped with Sweet and Hot is a reference to the fact that we are both dipped in chocolate. Yeah, say it again. We're both dipped in chocolate as two Black women. Some people were like, who's sweet and who's hot in terms of like references to our personality choice. Now she's side-eyeing me right now. She's side-eyeing me because when people meet us, if they happen to meet us together, because of the difference in our effect, they walk away thinking that I'm the sweet one and she's the hot one. And while that is true, sometimes I will admit And she will freely say that a lot of the hotness that we've gotten into in the course of our friendship, I'm going to go ahead and say that came from me.
It did. 9 times out of 10, if we was outside causing trouble, it was Melanie's fault.
Yeah, I can't deny it. Listen, we had fun though.
We did.
we might have got into some stuff, but we had fun though.
We did.
While we were doing it.
So you know what? Let's hop into it.
Okay, let's do it.
What's sweet? What's hot with you? What's been going on, Miss Mel?
Okay, so what's been going on with me on my mind? What's sweet? I will say that one of the things that's been really sweet for me over the last week is just some of the ways that some of my friendships and family relationships have been showing up for me.
All right.
Recently. Where do I go first? So I have one of my best friends who is an internal medicine physician.
Dope.
I am not going to say any names because I'll protect people's privacy on here. But she knows who she is. Because of our longstanding friendship, I feel very comfortable calling her whenever I have a medical question. Mm-hmm. And I legit wondered if I had a heart attack this week. Melanie. Now that sounds, now y'all gonna laugh because y'all like Melanie's being dramatic. And, maybe I was. But at the time, it felt very real. I felt like some of the, different feelings on your left side. Mm-hmm. I had a couple of chest pains earlier in the week. Mm-hmm. And I was feeling just like different on the left side of my body, not really knowing exactly what it was. Listen, the last thing you need to do is Google. Okay?
Please and thank you.
It can be so helpful. But anyway, I legit, in all seriousness, I was scared. And so I texted her and just said, hey, call me when you get this. I'm trying to figure out if I need to go to urgent care. And I've done that before. And so she calls me like I knew she would as soon as she got the call. And so I described to her what was happening, whatever. So she, listens to me and she's like, okay, you're not having a heart attack. She was like, and here's why. She very carefully explained to me what I said that let her know that I was not having a heart attack. She was like, it's probably something musculoskeletal, or it could be reflux, or it could be this, that, or the third. So I was like, yeah, but so I've been feeling this twitch in my hand though. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with the chest pains? Like, what's going on? I'm scared. And so she was talking to me and then she very calmly jumped in and she was like, okay, sorry to cut you off.
Because you're spiraling.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm about to go into a party right now. She was like, you don't need to go into urgent care. I'll call you tomorrow. What I need you to do is do some stretches.
Okay.
And take some Tums.
You have indigestion.
I was like, oh, yeah, I have had jerk chicken 3 times this week.
Melanie.
So I said, okay.
Jerk chicken 3 times?
I have had jerk. I don't know what it is.
It was on your spirit.
Lately, but yeah.
It was on your spirit.
So
okay.
I said, okay, well, first of all, thank you, God. I'm not having a heart attack. Second of all, thank you, friend. Thank you for letting me know I didn't need to go sit in the ER all day and being on call for me.
Wait a minute. Thank you, friend, for not letting her spiral out.
I was spiraling.
Because she was...
I really was, y'all. I'm laughing now. I was not laughing.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So that's what's sweet with you.
That's what's sweet.
What's hot? We going to save that for later?
No, we can talk about what's hot. I will also say real quickly, I'll shout out another family friend that's been showing up who's a dentist who saved me too.
Baby, you just had all the medical situations.
I did. I called on the relationships recently. I sent a text in that case too and was like, I'm scared of my dentist. I was in the middle of evasive process with my dentist and I no longer trust them for reasons that I won't go into right now. But I was just like, help me. And he did. And he responded right away. I feel so great. And that's sweet in my life. To have people show up for me.
That's fantastic. So, all right, we dealt with the head, which is your teeth, and the heart. Mm-hmm. Please don't come up with no stomach issues next week.
I hope not.
Okay.
I'll try not to go off the deep end if I do.
Okay. Fantastic. So let's see. What's been sweet with me? You know what? I keep going back to this, but what's been sweet with me is my peace. Like everything I do now, the first question I ask is, if I do this, will it bring me peace? And if the answer is no, I'll be like, that ain't for me. No.
That's a good, just like criteria to have.
Yeah. So, I've just been going where the wind takes me, not being crazy about it, but, just getting into the things that bring me joy and surrounding myself with love, with people that I love. And yeah, life is good. So I can't complain. Now, look, you want to know what's hot?
What's hot, girl?
Dating is trash, G.
Ooh, adventures in dating.
Oh, my.
That's going to be a whole segment, you guys. Adventures in dating.
You can do a whole season.
On adventures in dating.
Adventures. You call them adventures, more like treachery.
Well, I was just trying to put a positive spin on it for the people.
Listen, it's spicy. It's hot.
Dating is trash, huh? What happened, friend?
You know what? It's the people, and I'm not going to say men or women, and my comments are coming from a heterosexual lens. Like, men don't know what they want. And I am going to also say that women don't know what they want.
But that's fair.
But the problem is that when you get one person in a situation who is very clear and communicates what it is they're looking for, a lot of times the other person in the equation wants to translate. They want to build assumptions. They want to interpret. They want to interpret. They want to infer what it is.
They want to extrapolate.
We told you he was going to get marked.
We had degrees on this show.
And what I find myself coming back to time and again is the age-old idiom of I said what I said.
Come on, Nene.
If I told you that we were done with the foolery, that's what I meant. Don't call me at 2 a.m.
Oh, you got a 2 a.m.?
I got the 2 a.m. call the other night.
From somebody you had already said you were done with the foolery?
And I said, I thought we talked about this. And he said, well, yeah, I know we talked about it, but you were serious? And the only response I had was, I said what I said. Dating is trash.
It was a shock.
You
know what it is, though? And I'm not defending him, but it's so many people don't mean what they say. So many people don't mean what they say.
Why
and so it's like when you run into somebody who actually means what they said, that's new for some people. That might be totally foreign to him.
He might have a point.
He might hear no a whole lot and then turn around and it's actually a yes. And so, again, I'm not defending him. I feel your pain because I, too, am committed to trying to be honest about how I really feel.
Right.
And like say the things that I actually mean and make sure that I mean the things that I say. So if I take the time to actually say something, now, you know me, it's going to be well crafted.
Right.
I'm going to think about it most of the time, and I'm going to carefully choose my word.
Listen, we know our synonyms, okay? So we're not lying to you about this, okay?
I'm going to carefully choose my words, but what I continue to run, and it's the frustrating thing in the world. Yeah, sometimes I'm in a minority. People just be japping off out here. They just like to pop off. They say things they don't mean all the time. And, people are boundary steppers. We talked about it too. I really don't think that it was an issue of, he understood what you said.
He just didn't believe it.
He didn't believe it. He didn't believe it. He just decided he was going to try it. I think that's what it was. And we do that too. So I don't want anybody to think that, we're male bashing.
We're not.
On this show, because I know women
who do the same thing.
As Louis frowns, I know women who do the same thing. I know women who say stuff all the time that they don't mean. And I want to say to you, sis, stop making my life hard out here.
Come on.
Okay?
Come on.
Because if you don't mean what you say, they think I don't mean what I say. And I actually generally do mean what I say.
I do. I listen.
It's not to say I don't misspeak or make mistakes or have to walk stuff back.
Right.
And I'm definitely a person who will acknowledge when I'm wrong and apologize for it and correct it.
Okay, see, now we might be running into another show because what you're talking about is accountability.
That's what I'm talking about.
What you're talking about is responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And those are two words that I know a lot of people are unfamiliar with and possibly even allergic to.
I will say, you're right. Maybe that's a different show. But it's not all trash, right? It's not all trash. So now
you're ready to get sweet. Okay.
Well,
I'm going to come with you on this ride, Melanie. Because you didn't get this 2 a.m. phone call.
No, I didn't. Okay? I didn't. But I got some other trashy things in my history. And I can relate to the trash. But I will say I had a good dating experience this week.
You did?
I did have a good dating experience this week. So I told you I had jerk chicken 3 times, right?
You did.
The first time started with I met somebody in the jerk chicken spot. In the little hood spot.
The plot thickens.
I met somebody in the jerk chicken spot that I went into.
And were you smitten?
I wouldn't say smitten, but I noticed.
Okay. Right.
Again, choose my words carefully.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed. And what I noticed was this was a Sunday. And I noticed that this young man was dressed in a way that was similar to how I was dressed.
Okay.
I.e., he looked like he had just come from church.
Okay. He believed in the Lord. All right.
So I said, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I noticed he was a handsome guy, whatever. I'm going to place him on order. I think he had already placed his order and he was sitting there waiting. I actually had called ahead, so mine didn't take that long. But in the meantime, I was just like, okay, I'm sitting here waiting. And you know your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I had questions. I had curiosity.
They needed answers.
But I am not. So here's where you get a little peek into personality here, guys. I generally am not a woman who, my style is not usually to walk up to a man and approach him.
Mm-hmm.
My style is usually to green light a man. Okay? When I say green light, what I mean is that, like, if I think that if I've noticed somebody, I'm going to give some signal across the room that if you see me, and if you would like, it's safe to come over here.
It's like the airplane bathroom. It's vacant. Like you can approach.
It's safe to come over here. Yeah. I will give you the green light. And here's why I do that. Because I hear people being like, you should just say something to him. And there have been times that I have. But the reason that generally my approach is to open the door, create a friendly environment, if you will.
Set the atmosphere, sis. Set the atmosphere.
It's because what I've learned is that if I open the door and I green light and they don't come, there's a reason why they didn't come. And most of the time, it's a good reason. It could be, I'll put it out there like this. It could be you just not feeling me.
It could be that you married.
It could be that you're unavailable. You know, it could be whatever. And so I don't know your situation. I only know what's happening with me. So what I do is create an environment where you can come if you want to, if that's what you want to do. And if you choose to walk through that door, that's cool.
Right.
If not, but I'll give some sort of like clear signal that like, okay, it's cool.
All right. So
that's normally what I do. But in this case, I started the conversation.
Okay.
I did start a conversation.
It's a happy medium.
Yeah, it's a happy medium. I mean, it was just a benign conversation. Hello. Yeah. So we were just sitting there talking, whatever, he called my food or whatever. And this gentleman, he knows what to do. Mm-hmm. He saw the green light.
Okay.
He picked up the ball.
Okay.
He picked up the ball and he took it to the hoop. Okay. Like, and so he chose to do that. So I'm like, okay, now we in business.
Hey, okay.
So fast forward a couple days later, we make plans to go out to a very nice dinner. He had plans to go to a steakhouse down on the river.
Whoa, now you're speaking my language.
Beef is Holly's love language.
Listen, okay.
Wagyu specifically.
Listen, good marbling. Good marbling.
So he wanted to go. He had plans. We had reservations to go to the steakhouse. Okay, so I was already in the area. We're meeting up. And he calls me. He's like, I'm here, but they won't let me in because I forgot about checking with the dress code, and I got like distressing like a hole in my jeans. And I was like,
I got a half a question, but I'm going to reserve it. Go ahead.
Anyway, we end up at another nice steakhouse. We enjoy our meal, whatever we're talking. He's joking. He's giving me grief. He's teasing me and mocking me. So he's like, yeah, so that's what you do on Sundays. You just go pick up guys in your church clothes. Like that's what.
Word to the wise, girls like corny.
He delivered it in a better way than I did.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we had a good time. It was a good date. And I just say that to say, just to balance the trash. Just to balance
Fair
the
enough.
trash.
Did you kiss him?
I did not.
Okay.
But he didn't try.
Oh,
He didn't try, actually.
How was the dinner?
The dinner was good. The food was really good. Oh, there was a funny moment in the dinner. Because he was like, we had our entrees picked out, and he was looking at appetizers. He was like, hey, do you like crab? And so there was like a king crab appetizer.
Hold on, I gotta pull out my Quinta Brunson. He got money. Oh,
he's like, do you like king crab? I'm like, yeah, I like king crab. So we can get this king crab appetizer. They bring this king crab appetizer out. It is a bowl, like a wide bowl.
Mm-hmm.
With a pile of rock salt down in the base of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And a portion of a single king crab leg.
A single soul, solitary?
One solitary.
No, ma'am.
Not even the whole king crab
No,
leg.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
It is a portion of a single solitary king crab leg. The server sits the plate down, and he looks at me. He's like, oh, so this one of these places. I said, listen, my guy, we couldn't go to the place you wanted to.
Artistic portions.
I told you that I had never been here before, but I'd heard good things. That was my disclaimer. Okay.
Okay.
It was good.
It was good.
But it was like
just artistic.
It was super artisanal.
Artisanal.
It was artisanal. He said, oh, okay.
Okay, so I will concede and mainly because he speaks my love language of steakhouse. Mm-hmm. That maybe all dating is not trash.
All dating is not trash.
Okay, friend.
To be continued. We have so many adventures in dating.
Well, you know what? Let's grab our glasses and clink, 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 clink,
clink, clink, clink, clink.
That's the first episode. Yay! Thank you all for joining us for the first episode of Dipped with Sweet and Hot.
Yes, I'm Melanie Loren.
I'm Hollee Chanel, and we appreciate you being here. Come along next week for episode 2.
We'll holler at you next time. Bye.